I have shown a lot of ways to finish punch needle, but I don't think I've ever adhered it to sticky board. Usually I just fold it. Okay, so once my piece is done, I trim it to where I have, you know, an inch, inch and a half around. Usually I fold it over with using hot glue. I do each corner. And once all 4 corners are done, then I run a bead of hot glue there, and I would fold it over on all 4 sides. And then I would take a black marker or a marker, Sharpie marker that matches your last row of punches here, and I would color that so that that white fabric doesn't show. And then I would adhere this to whatever I'm planning on putting it on, like a book, a piece of wood, what have you. Well, this time I want to put this punch needle on this frame. I love this frame. I've been wanting something to go on this frame for a couple years now, but it's so tiny. Well, I think this would be gorgeous on there. But if I finish it the way I normally do, it's going to be bulky. I mean, it's just not going to work. So I need it to be stiff and flat. So that's why this time I'm going to adhere it to sticky board, and then I can adhere the sticky board to the frame. That's my thought process, and since it's something a little different than I normally do, I thought I would run through the how-tos with you guys. Now, because I am also going to be using Dames of the Needle trim, this is Texarkana Sage. It matches absolutely beautifully. Because I'm going to be putting that around the edge, I'm not going to color the edge like I normally do. If you're just leaving that edge raw and you're not going to use any trims, then that's when I would use a Sharpie marker and I would color either black or, like I said, choose a dark, you know, army green or something, but black would even work. But I don't need to do that because I'm going to use trim. All right, so let's get going. I've already trimmed my piece, as you can see. I got my hot glue gun warming up. And then I use this little light table. You can get these. It's super thin. It's LED. And it plugs in using a USB. Yep, you need one of those. They're not expensive, and it just helps so much when you're placing things onto your sticky board. So the first thing I'm going to do is I want to measure my piece. I'm going to flip it over, and this is the back side. So I'm going to measure. It is 5 7/8. So let me write it down. 5 7/8 by 5 1/16. Okay, so I have my palette here. I don't know why I have that here. And normally I cover this table with a piece of paper that's not so grungy. But I have to go get one. Yeah, I don't want to do anything with my needlework on this nasty table. This is where I paint, so. All right, now we got a nice clean surface. I'm going to measure. Well, let's do it over here. 5 7/8, well, no, it's not, never mind. Forget I said anything. 5 7, this is my 5 7/8. Now, I have a guillotine cutter, but I just don't like using it for one on like sticky board and foam cord because eventually it ruins your cutter. I also like a very straight edge, so I would much rather measure it and use a X-Acto knife or a utility knife. So that was my 5 7/8. Now 5 1/16. Fortunately, I did not have my utility knife over here, so I'm going to go grab that. And I usually get a piece of cardboard of some sort to cut on so that I'm not cutting my paper or my table or whatever might be there. There's some sort of weird clicking sound. I don't know what the heck that is. I haven't done any finishing lately. So I'll probably burn myself at some point with this hot glue gun. It kind of is what I do. Makes for good entertainment. Okay, I don't need this anymore. No, I do need this. Good Lord. This is exactly what I need it for. I'll be okay. So, see how it lights up and I can see through? I can see the board underneath. Let me zoom in so you can see that. So this light table, that way I can see the board underneath. And I know when I have it lined up. So, I am going to peel off the sticky board. And I'm going to be very careful, to make sure, one, that I have it the right direction. Yes. Because this is punch needle, it'd be easy, like if you put it on wrong and you had to rip it off, it could pull some of your punches out. So I'm going to be very careful, just kind of roll it up on itself and just work on one edge at a time. So using my light table, I can see when I have it in the corner. Okay, and I don't press down hard because I don't want to pull anything out. It looks like I might have it a little bit off. Jeepers. No one said it would be easy. I know a lot of you don't like finishing. I totally get it. If I didn't have to finish anything myself, I wouldn't. It's not my favorite part of my job either, but neither is doing my taxes, but I have to do it. Speaking of that. Okay. So now I've got it adhered to a nice stiff piece of foam core, and I can see some little threads that needed to be trimmed, and I didn't do that. These scissors are a little bit big for this, but let's see if we can't get it. Yeah, I might need to get no, I definitely need to get my smaller scissors, but okay. So I really don't need this anymore. Okay, so instead of gluing this now to the back of this, I'm going to glue it to the back of this. Just like I do with my cross stitch. Now, doggone it. Hopefully the trim will hide that because I don't have it aligned perfectly. But I think the trim will hide that. Yep. Cool. Cool, cool, cool. Let's just do the four corners like I said. Why does it take so long for my hot glue gun to warm up? I'm guessing I need a new one. Is that like safe to say that I need a new one? You can see that I'm over a little bit on this side, but that's the beauty of using trim. You can hide a multitude of sins using trim. I don't know that sin was the right word. A multitude of mistakes, let's say. It's okay that it's coming over the side. Like I said, the trim will hide that. Ooh, hot, hot. Yep, did it. Told you I would. Ooh, I did it again. Yeah, definitely a good idea to use trim. So keep that in mind when you are going to be doing this method of finishing for punch needle, because if you weren't using trim, like I got that way off. But see, the trim, if you put it on the right way, it will cover that edge. It's going to be beautiful. I forgot to, and if you're nervous about any of that white showing, you can go ahead and go along that edge with, what do you call it? Sharpie marker. But I think we're going to be fine. I'm not going to worry about that. Dang it, I'm going this way. This is really big pom-pom. This is not normally, I like the smaller kind better, but I don't have a green that matches in the smaller mini pom-pom. I really wanted to adhere this to a book, and I had a red book that matched perfectly, but the book was too small. So that's why it's just good to constantly be buying antique books when you see them in the antique shop, even if you don't know what you're going to use it for. If it's a color that you love, get it, because eventually you're going to be looking for that color and then go, oh man, I should have bought that book. And you know, they're cheap. I don't spend, unless it's a really unique color in a bigger size, like I'll pay up to $8 if it's very unique. For the most part, I pay between $2 and $5. I would say on average between $2 and $5. So yeah, always be looking out. I mean, there's some people that try to sell these, you know, little books for $8. Unless it's something really unique, don't do it, because you can go 3 booths down and find something, you know, less expensive. Unless you have a specific project and you're looking for a specific color. You know, it just all depends. If you're just out there shopping and collecting colors that you like, you know, don't overpay. But you might be in a hurry like I am most of the time. If you're looking for something specific for a specific piece, I'd be totally willing to pay $8 just so I don't have to spend, you know, another hour looking at books. It just depends on the piece, depends on your situation. Ooh, this is turning out so pretty with that trim on it. Can you hear the Beatles music playing over there? So Kevin has his first gig, ouch, since the pandemic. They had all of last year off. All their gigs were canceled. So they have their first gig since 2019 tomorrow. And we have been having torrential rains and storms for the past few days. And it's supposed to rain off and on like for the next week to 10 days. He's like, oh, wouldn't that be fitting if our first gig back is canceled due to rain? I'm like, oh, that would totally stink. They're really looking forward to getting back into playing. I mean, I can't even imagine it personally. I go, like, get anxiety when I don't paint for, you know, a week to 10 days. Let alone, I couldn't imagine, like, if I couldn't create for a year. Couldn't do, you know, my passion or what I loved for a year. No. Nope. Can't even imagine it. So I guess there's something to be said for a craft that is just, you know, done in solitude. Yeah, this side isn't perfectly straight because that's the side where the punch needle went over the edge. Okay, but our piece is done. Oops. Dadgummit. Okay, hold on. It is not done. I got this part glued too far to the back. And our son Kyle, he had a gig last night and he's got a gig tonight. And then Kevin has a gig Sunday. So today is Saturday, June 25th, 2021. So yeah, very musical weekend for our family. I'd like to go see Kyle's gig, but dang, you know, they don't start till 9:30. Going to bed lately at, you know, that time. Last night I was in bed by 10 o'clock. But during, they've had, Kyle's band has had a gig, I want to say it was in April, and they, because of the pandemic, they started at 7 and they had to be done by 9 or something like that. I'm like, oh, now I love these hours. Oh, girl, I'm not into the 9:30 to 1 in the morning anymore. Stinks getting old. Can't hang with the youngins anymore. Okay. Here's our super adorable piece. Oh my goodness, look how cute it is on there. So now what I want to do is, I don't want to glue the back of this, I want to glue on the highest point of this where it's going to be touching. So that's what I'm going to do. Just going to put glue all along this high point. Excuse the top of my head, but I gotta make sure I center this, so. And there you have it. Oh, I did it right. Whew. All right, guys, it's done. That didn't take long at all, did it? 20 minutes, maybe? Not bad at all. I like that chippy little frame. It just looks so cute on there. So yeah. Guess what I'm going to go do now? Record my floss tube video. See you there. Thanks for watching. Bye.